see if I can explain it. How I can best explain it. I'm kind of responsible for everything that gets in the way of the game. Um, so you have your basketball operations side of the Los Angeles Clippers. Doc Rivers runs that. That's the players, the coaches, the scouts. By the way, did you guys see the game last night?
Yeah, of course.
So you have the basketball side, and then they spend a lot of the revenue. We pay player salaries, doc salaries, coaches, traveling expenses. You can imagine going up the plane, charter airlines. So there's considerable expenses, and then the business side, we're responsible for bringing in the revenue. So there's two main revenue pieces for most sports teams. Well, there's a couple. There's more than two. For the sake of this equation, there's two. There's ticket sales, which is a huge bulk of the portion, and that's pretty tried and true. Based on the success of your team, you can have ticket sales trending up here. If you're the Lakers, you're going to continue to trend up here anyway. But if you're the Clippers or the Memphis Grizzlies, a lot depends on how good you are. But ticket sales is a large portion of our income. Another large portion is television contracts, probably the largest one. From the national TV contracts to the local contracts. So national TV, ABC, you watch the Warriors on ABC today, or us on TNT last night. But then we have a local TV contract with Fox Sports.
So does that just switch off, or how does it work? Which channel? What night?
That's a great question. Basically, if it's on ABC or TNT, it's generally exclusive to that broadcast. If it's on ESPN, it can also be broadcast on Fox Sports. For the playoffs, all games are broadcast at a national level. So after the first round, by the way, just we're getting down the road, we don't need to go. But after the first round, it goes to exclusively a national agenda. So the last game of the year on Fox was available last night. But during the regular season, we have about 75 broadcasts on Fox, including preseason. So anyway, I digress. We're bringing in revenue. We're talking about television rights. We split the national contract with all 31 other teams in the league. They divvy that up equally, and then whatever deal you can cut in your local market is yours to keep. Same goes for radio. So we've got ticket, we've got television, we've got radio, and then what I do is sponsorship sales. Okay, and I oversee our department, our income there. And that is how we derive income through a variety of measures. So that's why I say things that get in the way of the game. So advertising, so to speak. Television, commercials that we sell on Fox, we're partners there, so we get a percentage of that revenue. Radio inventory, social and digital inventory, so Clippers.com, our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter services, as well as in arena. We have two major forms. So there's signage in the arena. If you guys ever watch the game, the players dribble up and down the court, you have what's called camera visible signage. So you might see Kia or State Farm. And with us, we have a variety of partners. So that's high-end real estate, because that is not just appealing to right here as a Clipper fans in the market, but that's a national perspective. So if we're playing the New York Knicks, that's seen in New York, or Miami or Cleveland, not to mention highlight shows, magazines.
Or any other state, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Or people that are, however they go about digesting it, including the internet and the social digital outlets, I suppose. So we also do hospitality. We create high-end hospitality with these partners. So they're not just advertisers when it comes to a team, they're partners of the team. So I'm getting kind of long-winded, so what's the next question?
What did you want to do when you were a kid?
What did I want to do when I was a kid? That's a good question. First I wanted to be a professional baseball and football player. realized, that wasn't gonna happen. But loved sports all my life. So I went to college. I was a liberal arts major, which is pretty generic. Doesn't really give you a designated skill set when you leave. Like I wasn't able to be an engineer or an architect. Um, so when I graduated college, I decided to pursue more passionately where my interests were, and sports was always an interest. I didn't know a lot about it. Luckily, I got in at a good time. I've been with the Clippers for 20 years.
Oh, you've been a lot of ups and downs.
Yes, you're right. So it was pretty much at one point you just decide, where your passions are, and if you can make money doing that, then you don't feel like you're going too much time every day, right?
So you could say that you love what you do. Like when you get up and go to work, you're not mad about it at all.
Most days of the week. Yeah. So I'm pretty tired because it's been, I was in San Antonio on Thursday, and then we were at the game last night, and then I took a client out to watch the Pacquiao Mayweather dance fest. So it's a lot of hours. So if you're gonna work something that much, you definitely want to like it. I do absolutely love it. This is
How did you get in with the Clippers? What did you do?
another good question. So when I graduated college, I decided I was going to go get my master's degree, at the time, sports business management. You can get your MBA in sports business management. Sports business management. There's 4 schools in the country that offer that back in 1995, 96. Now, by the way, there's probably 200 schools that offer that degree. So that's talk about getting in at the right time. That's how much the industry's grown over those 20 years. What was your initial question? I'm sorry.
How you initially got in?
Yeah, how I got in. So I was going to go to graduate school. I ended up getting a business degree to qualify to go to graduate school, and then I came out to visit some friends in California. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I decided I would move out here, postpone graduate school, because the economy was thriving out here more so than where I'm from back east. So several conversations with people, a lot of networking like this where you sit down, and I was you guys asking people what they do and how they got into it and why and where and all that, and just trying to meet more and more people. So every time I did, people told me to get more specific about what I wanted to do, because I really didn't know. I like sports, and I fancy myself a business person, so I began to drill deeper, custom. They recommended internships and things like that, like customize my resume, and I sent it through a friend, got it to the senior VP with the Clippers, and he happened to go to Penn State, which is where I graduated, so that got me an interview, the fact that I graduated from Penn State University, and I took it from there. So I came down from San Francisco on a Tuesday, went through a round of interviews, brought back on a Thursday, second round of interviews, and they said the good news is you're hired, you need to start on Monday.
Did you have another job at that point?
No, I was staying with friends up in San Francisco, so I didn't have a car. This was LA. I had a buddy that was down here with me. We went back up, and had another friend drive me down, and I ended up with a college friend in Manhattan Beach, and I slept on his couch for basically a year. I rented a car for the first week of work, and then the finance guy lived 2 blocks over from me in Manhattan Beach, so I paid for his gas for 3 or 4 months until I could afford a car. Enrolled like that, and I sold tickets.
That's how you started?
Yeah, ticket sales. And at the time, they basically said, there's your desk, there's your phone, and here's a stack of cards of businesses and contacts. And there wasn't much training. They just kind of threw you in the deep end. And it's evolved a ton since then. As I mentioned, the whole industry has. But yeah, so I eventually started selling tickets. I became a group manager after a year, then the ticket sales manager of the entire department, then the director, and then when we moved into Staples Center, I transitioned that in 2000, and then in 2001 I started sponsorship.
So how long did it take you from ticket sales to sponsorship?
I think about 4 years. Yeah, yeah. And so I compare it to, half jokingly, but I had a ton of friends in ticket sales. But I compare that to basically deep frying French fries, working the deep fryer at McDonald's, because it's a very black and white, like we sell ticket sales. This is what they cost. If you're interested, here's the best seats available. Our process in sponsorship is like preparing a gourmet meal for somebody, where we come down and sit down and kind of work to form a partnership. Like, where do your interests lie? Do they lie in television? Do they lie in reaching your brand, reaching people through signage, through digital outlets, social, like we talked about? And generally, we're trying to put that whole bag together to get a big old partnership. I brought some items for you guys. I didn't know how many you were, so I screwed up. You guys can wrestle over that, but I got some more coming.
Thank you so much.
These are scarves we did with State Farm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So a lot of these brands get with us because they want to be associated with a dynamic product like the Los Angeles Clippers, who reaches a very unique fan base. So the younger you are, the more influential you are, and a lot of times you make up your decisions early in life, like, do you like Coke or Pepsi? Do you like Gatorade or Powerade? So you're right at that age, and you'll probably commit for a long time. So the next phase is millennials, a little older than you guys, 18 to 27, 30 years old. That's a big target of people. So they like to align with a young, exciting brand, and that's where their consumers and future consumers are. You guys are watching Clippers basketball. So we have a very, it's a very big resource that we bring to the table. It's called a desirable demographic. And another, graduate college, you guys will be in it. But and actually, it depends who you're speaking to. You're already in some people's, like Coke and Pepsi. And then this is some stuff we did with State Farm. These are actually last year. I don't know if the mustaches are gonna stick, guys, but you've seen the Cliff Paul commercials. So they do this, hand them out to our fans. They want our fans to wear them. They proliferate it socially through Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, kind of. That proliferates their message, and it's a great association. So we have a ton of ways we support it, but there's some disguise kits in here too. You guys can wear them when you do your presentation, maybe. And again, check on the mustaches. When it's a year old. I meant to bring a package. I got so busy last night I forgot.
This is more than
this is stuff I scrounged up in my closet. And this is a dual. This was supporting our powder blue uniforms. Pacific Blue, actually. So it's like a marketing thing, but we can get a partner to pay for it, to kind of underwrite the cost of our own marketing. So it's kind of a unique.
So it's almost like you're getting your name and their name out there all on their expenses.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. So yeah, and I can tell you, after 20 years, especially working for the Clippers, it's a lot easier when you do it.
Any jobs for like younger kids?
We have an extended intern program, but it's for college, college kids. So
Maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah, definitely in a couple of years. We have we probably have on game nights 75 interns working between business and basketball operations. I'll give you guys a card there. I think I gave most of them out last night. But we probably have 75 game day interns, and then the good ones, the ones that we like the most and feel have the most potential, we bring back and they work through us throughout the summer. So I probably have 4 or 5 steady interns in our department.
What do they do? Same as you, but help you?
Help us, yeah, and they do some of the work like they track down demographic information for me. So I have the resource through a company called Scarborough or Repucon, and then they can go on and interface with them. And I'm looking for, our rating and who watched last night. Uh, because companies are interested in who they're speaking to. Are we male? Are we female? What's our average age? What's our average household income? What's our ethnicity? So, and we can get very specific on that. So I might have to do something like that. A lot of remedial work too, like task work that kind of alleviates the burden on our activation team in the department.
Okay.
So I hope I didn't bore you guys too
No,
much.
that was actually
It's actually a pretty fun job.
sounds like it.
Yeah, if it was a regular season, I'd bring you out to a game, but right now the tickets are a little hot. Yeah.
Next year,
yeah. Take note of the signage and the things that you see. Now, when you see it this time of year with the playoffs, it's watered down because it's just they don't want to compete with the television advertisers because the television contracts are so enormous. You're talking about $2 billion. So our sponsors can threaten that in a way, so they, it's very generic. It's only for NBA partners, State Farm, Kia, Adidas, and a few others, but a lot of it is just generic, like NBA Cares, which is their community effort, and things like that. But you'll notice the signage, and then next year when we play during the regular season, you'll see how when it's different from a playoff game where we're being generic and cautious of the television contracts to when we're full on activating with our partners.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right.
Yep. All right, guys.
Yeah, I